Hello and welcome to Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown is a story-driven survival strategy game in which the fate of the iconic starship is in your hands. Take the helm, manage the ship and resources, and make difficult decisions. Will you be able to bring home the ship and its crew? This is developed by GameExcite and published by Daedalic Entertainment, and is our next selection in October 2025 Next Fest. So, I was surprised a little bit to see a Star Trek game in Next Fest. I'm surprised and pleased. I kind of wasn't expecting to find it there, and I think I knew this was coming, but I only had a little bit of info on it if I did. So it's very kind of almost roleplay game-ish, I guess. A very adventure game, point-and-click adventure specifically kind of a thing, but also a lot of colony management kind of aspects, I guess, too, or a little bit anyway. And a lot of kind of, as it said, it's kind of a strategy survival type of thing. So the game opens with the pilot, effectively, or at least from what I can tell, story of the Voyager TV series. And I think it follows, or can follow the pilot plot, and then I don't know how far it goes beyond that. I suspect the demo might be limited to that time period, but of course the decisions you can make, because it's kind of a little bit of choose your own adventure. The decisions you can make will probably radically change the storyline compared to the television show. So I'm going to make the best choice that I think I can. I will probably not make exactly the same choices that are made in the show, but I will make I'll make decisions as I can, and we'll see how far we can get into this demo before we move on. This game does not yet have a release date. I don't know if there's, at least not listed on Steam. I don't know if there's anything listed elsewhere, but we'll have to definitely keep an eye out for it and check it out. And if it's a game you're interested in, by all means, check out the demo, of course, on Scene Next Fest, and then add it to your wish list or follow it so that you can be notified of game updates and also when it is released. So let's just pick Profile 1. I did, of course, start a little bit, just kind of get a feel for what the game was, and then deleted the save, so let's go back in. You are the captain of the Federation starship USS Voyager. Manage your ship and crew. Plot a course through something. I mean, you can kind of guess what it is. It's going too fast for me to read the text down there, but you can read it if you need to pause or whatever to read it. Go ahead. Effectively, though, it's a telling of the opening part of the pilot. I'm hoping there will be a voiceover. If they can get Kate Mulgrew to do it, I'm hoping there'll be a voiceover by her, but I don't know if she will, or if they'll be able to get, I mean, I guess depending on how close this is to the actual log on the TV show, maybe they'll be able to, maybe they'll be able to just use the audio from the television show. I don't know if they can get CBS to let them do that or not. There we go. It's been a long time since I watched Voyager, so I should probably do so again at some point in the future. Catherine Janeway, gentlemen, welcome to Voyager. Ensign Kim, you're fresh from the Academy. Ready for your first deep space assignment? Reporting for duty, Captain. It's an honor to be here. I hoped I'd live up to your expectations. Ensign Kim, I trust you've already met Tom Paris, our esteemed observer, a former Maquis pilot who will help us search the Badlands for the Maquis vessel. With all due respect, ma'am, observer is hardly a title befitting my talents. I am the best damn pilot in this sector. Call me pilot extraordinaire, Ensign. The Maquis? Wow, I've heard a lot of stories about them. Relax, I was with the Maquis only for a few weeks before I was captured and sent to a lovely little penal colony in New Zealand. But prison? Enough chatter, gentlemen. All hands, this is the captain. Report to your stations. Helm, take us into the Badlands. Maximum warp. A really good rendering. Into the Badlands. The Badlands, a treacherous region of space where violent plasma storms can cripple even the most advanced starships. Captain Janeway observes the swirling chaos from the view screen, a subtle smile playing on her lips. She's ready for the challenge. Scanners are picking up no other vessels in the system, Captain. It's your time to shine, Mr. Paris. Any idea where your former colleagues might be hiding? I wasn't exactly Maquis of the Year, Captain, but they did prefer underground bases, remote planets, and... Captain, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm reading a coherent tetryon beam scanning us, and a displacement wave heading toward us. Incoming. A colossal wave of turbulence energy surges toward Voyager, its power dwarfing anything the crew has ever seen. With no time to analyze the threat, emergency measures are initiated. Red alert. Helm evasive maneuvers. No effect. The wave will intercept us in 5 seconds. Brace for impact. Aftermath. As the crew regains consciousness, they find their bridge in total devastation. Twisted metal, sparking consoles, and injured crewmates paint a grim picture. What just happened? Damage report. Major hull and deck damage. The transporter are offline, and we are receiving casualty reports. Bridge to sickbay. Doctor, I've got injured crew on the bridge. Doctor? Damn. Captain, we're losing systems across multiple decks. The deuterium tanks are empty. Warp core's gone to gray mode. We're on reserves. Barely. Mr. Paris, take the helm. Scan for the nearest source of deuterium. External sensors are offline. Stellar cartography must be down. Voyager's blind, Captain. Janeway to engineering. We need stellar cartography back online now. Alright, so now we have tutorial time. Welcome to the tutorial. Click on the question mark icon, which is number 1 here on the left side of the screen, to revisit any tutorial screen. It'll appear over here someplace. And you can play with the controller too. Some additional tutorials will not pop up during gameplay, but automatically appear in the tutorial list. Check out the new tutorial screens now. So we have this over here. And we can also go to Activate Room tutorial. Activate the stellar cartography in the lower left part of the ship. To activate it, open up its menu by selecting the room and switching on the power supply. So that's here. We can see, if you zoom out a bit, you can see the whole ship. We have several decks up here, of course, and then a horizontal turbo lift, and then several decks down here, and we need to go to stellar cartography. You can switch that on. You can see that it costs power and crew to turn that on. We have some energy here, but not much. We have 8 available, so we're going to spend a good almost half what we have left. And then crew over here, we have 50 crew and our 36 idle. I guess that's what that means. Let's switch that on. Captain, sensors are picking up something out there, but what Harry is trying to stammer is we're not in the Badlands anymore. What is that thing? Where are we? So, of course, those of you who have watched Star Trek Voyager know exactly what this is. If our sensors are working, we just jumped over 70,000 light years into the Delta Quadrant. The Delta Quadrant? How? Captain, life support systems are failing. This array will have to wait. Mr. Paris, take the helm. Find us a deuterium source. Alright, so we get a new tutorial here for scanning. We can scan points of interest. We can click on any of these points of interest marked by question mark, and reveal the resources with the scan button there. So we'll just kind of click on each one and scan. That shows duranium, and it doesn't show us a quantity, it just shows us that we can get some duranium there. Now we can get deuterium. We can, system map navigation. Navigate your ship by traveling to various locations. So we can click on them. There'll be a set course button now too. And when traveling, time passes in the form of cycles. When visiting points of interest, you can choose between different approaches with different risks and outcomes. The different colors of the chance bar, that's this bar here, represent the possible outcomes. Excellent, dark green, and good, light green. I guess this is excellent over here. Unclear. I only see one green there. More rewards like extra resources, morale increase, etc. Average is yellow, can include minor setbacks, and then Actually, there's no yellow here either. Bad is orange and terrible is red. Outcomes provide low rewards and medium to major setbacks like destroyed rooms, hull damage, or severe injuries. So we'll kind of get like I said, it's kind of a choose your own adventure thing, a little bit, but also a little bit, kind of common and point and click adventures, I would say, where you can, choose different activities or different methods. And then I didn't also click on that last one here. Basic resources. Keep track of your resources in the main HUD. Deuterium, which is here in dark blue, purplish, is your fuel that powers the warp drive. Duranium and Tritanium are over here. Duranium is the bar-looking one. Tritanium is the geode, spheric-looking one. Essential for construction and repair. And then 3, of course, is the crew, which we already did take a look at. So close that. So we can fly there. We could also continue scanning. Let's use a little bit more scanning just to see if there's any... Yeah, there's some deuterium there too. See if there's any that closer before we pick which one we're going to go to. I kind of wish there was a way to do this. Maybe there is a way to do this in the shortcuts where you don't have to click each one like this. Maybe you can somehow click and scan. There is a click to route there, make your course go there. That's 7 cycles. This is 6. I guess we'll go there. So you can just press and hold to fly there, but it doesn't seem to work for scanning. At least not that I've noticed. But this is almost as far as I've gotten, so we'll see. It's a gas giant. Captain, we've detected massive deuterium levels in the atmosphere of this Class J gas giant. Atmospheric conditions are harsh, but the potential fuel yield is exceptional. We can deploy collector probes for a safer, though less efficient collection, which will give us max 443, or we could risk to fly directly into the atmosphere using the Bizarre collectors and gain a little bit more. You can see here that this is very light green and yellow, and there's also mostly light green there. So and it kind of just is like a D20 roll. So it kind of just rolls a spot there on the bar, and depending on where the roll falls, it lands there. And then this one, of course, is darker green, but also orange. So it's got better benefits, but also bigger drawbacks. Let's do this one because it's kind of a good, easy start there. And you can see the roll happening here. And it ends up right there. We gained 443 deuterium, which is a 65% reward distribution. I'm not sure what that means exactly. And then that gives us the deuterium we need. So there we go. Captain, we can now deactivate gray mode. That focuses us on main engineering. Captain, ready to increase warp core output. And then we get a little bit of education on the warp core. The warp core is the reactor that powers the ship. To generate energy, it continuously consumes deuterium. Depending on the reactor level, you produce more energy, but more deuterium is required. So we have energy output here, deuterium input here. Increase the power output by selecting main engineering and switching the warp core to a higher tier here. So let's cancel this. Click on that, and then we have this option. We can go all the way up there. Tier 6 if we want. We'll just do tier 1 here, and that puts us fires up the warp core. Our energy levels are returning to normal, Captain. Good. Now what about this thing, this array? I can't tell, Captain, but our scanners detected a Maquis vessel next to it. We can scan for life signs or try hailing them. I guess we'll scan for life signs because the sensor array gives us a 100% chance. Scan the ship for life signs, Hinson. There's no one on board, Captain. So now we can scan the array, which gives us, since the sensor array is level 1, we have a 40% chance plus a 35% chance. I don't know what the difference between the two percentages is. I mean, why they're listed separately instead of together. I assume maybe it's a 40% chance base, plus depending on what level the sensor array is, maybe we get a little bit extra boost based on the level. That kind of makes sense given that they're both in green, but I don't know for sure. Scan the array. What about the array? Several life forms on board, Captain. Is one of them Vulcan? I'm not sure, Captain. The signals are weak. We'll just have to see for ourselves. I want the transporter room repaired and ready. Mr. Paris, get us to a duranium deposit. We'll need it to repair the transporter room. Alright, so we have deuterium here and also here. We're going to go back to this one because I think we're going to have to go back to the array anyways. So let's just go to this one and we'll collect more resources a little bit later. That costs just 20 per cycle. As you saw, it was like 4 cycles away, so it consumed about 80 of our deuterium to do that. Abandoned vessel. Captain, we found an abandoned ship adrift in space. It's powered down but structurally sound, with sealed storage compartments. So we can leave the storage alone and focus on salvaging from other parts of the ship to gain 29 deuterium. Duranium. Duranium? Yeah, duranium. It's not tritanium, it's duranium. Or we can destroy the vessel and salvage the debris if we had a torpedo launch bay. Level 1. Well, that would get us only an extra 16 duranium anyways, and we can't do it, so let's just do this one and do the roll here. 29 is our additional duranium. We now have all the duranium we need. I don't know about that, but okay. Engineering is standing by to repair the transporter, Captain. That's here. Again, we can zoom out and see kind of where that is. It's deck 11 here, and we can click on that, and we can repair it, which costs 14. All we need. Yes, all we need. And transporters are back online, Captain. Mr. Paris, set course for the array. It's time we got some answers. So now we need to fly to the array. We also have quests up here, and whenever you see the Voyager comm badge Delta chevron thing, then that means that's a main quest item. Any new tutorials? Repairing rooms, we did that. We didn't read the tutorial first, but it's damaged, so it's not operational. We click on the room, we pay for the repair, and then it repairs in a number of cycles. So let's fly back here, 3 cycles away. Engage. Come back into the array ranger. Ensign Kim and Mr. Paris, get ready for your first away mission. Away missions present a series of challenges appearing here on the side. Heroes possess skills and traits which are here and there, and select heroes with matching skills for your away team. So here we can see that we have challenges that each we have 4 different challenges, and I only know this because I got this far. We have 4 different challenges we're gonna have to face. Having this people with that symbol, so let's click on this here for a moment, which is Tom Paris, has this symbol. I'm not sure what that means exactly. Maybe I am. He has it, Harry Kim doesn't, but he satisfies all of these, as well as a little bit of this one, which I think must be medical, and some of this one, which must be some sort of engineering or repair type of thing. And of course, he's also a pilot, and we need somebody who's pilot and somebody who's quick-witted. Harry Kim is quick. Oh, I just substituted him in. Oopsie. There we go. Harry Kim is quick-witted, which takes care of that, and he also fulfills this sciencey looking thing here, and also still has a little bit of this repair one as well. Actually, a little bit more than Tom Paris does. So let's start the away mission. Tutorial on away missions. Decide on how to approach here, and select the hero to complete the challenge with the appropriate skill. If the skill is lower than the requirement, the success chance is displayed over here. Okay, so again, like the other decisions we can make, we have a sort of a roll bar there. Captain, we seem to have materialized in the middle of a cornfield. This place is serially similar to Earth, but something's off. Any suggestions on what to do next? This is our first challenge here. You can see it highlighted. We can look for any footprints or special noises. If we do that, we would have to pick Tom Paris to do it. A fairly green bar here to do this one, or we could scan for any life signs or strange energy signatures, and Harry Kim gives us that much of a bar. That one's a little bit better, not much, but a little bit better in terms of the green versus the red. So let's go ahead and do this one first. You just gotta press and hold to confirm. Scanning, there we go, success. So it is basically a roll. I suspect it's a roll of 33, and you just get 1 through 29 gives you this, and the other 4 give you that kind of thing. Harry and Tom use their tricorders to scan for life signs and detect a strange energy spike emanating from a nearby area. Following the readings, they navigate through the corn and find a farm with people working in the fields. An old man sits on the porch of a nearby farmhouse, strumming a banjo. After a challenge, the participating team members are fatigued and their skill values are reduced. Oh, fun! Let them rest for the next challenge to recover and plan accordingly. Alright, so there's the fatigue there, and their skill values are down, and then here's the next challenge, of course. Captain, this old man seems harmless enough. He might know what's going on here. So how should we approach him? So we have all 3 options here on the challenge, or 3 of the 4, I guess, options here on the challenge. So we can demand to know what's going on, which is quite low. We can try reading his body language for any clues, which is quite a bit better. Or we can argue with the facts that this can't be a farm on Earth, and you want to know what's going on. That's got a worse skill, so let's start with the body language and see how that plays out. Harry and Tom discreetly observe the old man, trying to analyze his body language. Something feels off, like he's putting on an act, but they can't quite put their finger on why. The old man seems perplexed by their presence, muttering about Harry and Tom being early and how it's not their turn yet. He invites them to stay on the farm and wait, offering some fresh corn cobs. So we gain 5 sciencey stuff, I guess, here. You can select more than one hero for a challenge if they possess the required skill. If the accumulated skill value is higher or equal than the required number, you have a chance for a critical success, the golden part of the chance bar. Nice. The old man needs much help. We'll try to find the Maquis ourselves. There's a large barn behind the farmhouse. The tricorder readings are off the charts. There's definitely something strange about it, especially that back wall. So we could investigate the barn wall for a hidden door. About a 50% chance on that one. We could try to analyze what these energy readings could be, up to about 75%, or we could try to find a way to break the illusion of the wall. And here's a reward, by the way. This one gives us a boost to the science solutions, and this one, of course, gives us some deuterium. Let's combine their efforts, which is not just good, but is great because we are 5 points over, which means we have a little bit of a golden bar here. And let's do that. We didn't get the golden bar. Harry and Tom try to disrupt the energy field, causing a flicker in the air. But before they can break the illusion, the people from the field burst in, wielding farm tools as weapons. The old man appears and reveals the barn is an illusion, back wall dissolving, to show a bluish glowing room where unconscious people, including a tattooed man and a half Klingon woman, lie on surgical tables. 150 deuterium for that. Sometimes you have to make major decisions that have a large influence on how the story proceeds. These decisions are marked with a golden outline around the boxes there, of course. These people must be the missing Maquis. They are being held here, Captain. We must get them out of here. So the pilot can wake the tattooed man for a slightly golden effort there, or the quick-witted can wake up the half Klingon woman for an even more golden opportunity there. We can get duranium or deuterium for this. And I think I'm going to go with the much better odds option there, and wake up the half Klingon woman. I don't remember what choice was made in the show. First, Harry sprints toward the half Klingon woman, hoping to rouse her. As he reaches out, the old man stops him, a look of concern on his face. Before Harry can react, a blinding white light fills the room, and everything goes blank. 200 deuterium for that. And they both level up. That's new. That's interesting. They both level up. And so we succeeded in 4 of our challenges. We had no critical successes. We have got a no injury bonus. We're in Sector 1, I guess, so it's a multiplier of 1. So a total of 300 experience points. That's nice. A sudden return. Captain Janeway anxiously awaits the return of her away team when Harry Kim unexpectedly materializes behind her. What happened on the array? Whoa, I'm back on Voyager. What happened over there, Mr. Kim? We lost contact with you for several hours. I don't know if this is supposed to be Tom Paris here or not. I don't think so, but maybe. It's a little bit hard to tell. But who's sitting at the helm if he's gone, kind of thing? Because he had to take over the helm because presumably the helmsman was injured. I guess maybe somebody else made it up to the bridge. Hours? But we were just there, right, Tom? Tom? Seems like he's still on the array. I hope you have a hidden piloting talent because we're short. Captain, we're being hailed by the Maquis. So yeah, that's person probably shouldn't be sitting there. Starfleet, I don't know what you did to our commander, but I can still ram this wreck into your precious starship. Ram us? One of our own is also missing. It would make sense to postpone the ramming until we're all accounted for. Does that sound reasonable? We're beaming over. Face to face. Despite Janeway's invitation, the arrival of the Maquis crew is fraught with tension. Both sides remain wary as they prepare to discuss their shared predicament. Don't play games, Starfleet. We're armed and ready to defend ourselves. I wouldn't have it any other way. Glad to have you back, Tuvok. Likewise, Captain. Ms. Torres, I must inform you that I was assigned to infiltrate the Maquis. I never liked you, Vulcan. That is unsurprising. I assure you, I perform my Maquis duties to the highest standards. Attack. You win some, you lose some. Let's focus on bringing Mr. Paris and your commander back. His name is Chakotay, and we can't get back in that easy. They're sealed, and their communications are cut off. Lieutenant Tuvok, get down to engineering and find a way to bypass whatever's jamming our communications. Report back as soon as you have a solution. Captain, the ship's status remains critical. Repair protocols are imperative. We require resources and the engineering office to mobilize additional workforces. Prioritize life support, secure core decks, and restore Deck 5 functionality first to gain access to the engineering office. So life support. To be able to supply power to a room, you need to activate the life support unit of the corresponding deck. Each life support unit consumes energy, so plan accordingly. But we're doing okay on energy, but of course we're consuming deuterium, because we have the warp core producing 100 now, so we have quite a bit available. Let's go ahead and click on this, which is Deck 5, and turn on life support, which costs 18 energy for Deck 5. Life support restored on Deck 5, Captain. Engineering office is now accessible. And of course, it's a mess. Sigh. We have to fix it before we can even use it. That's over here, and we can repair it. That's going to cost this, which is a work crew. We have one of those. We have those right here. We only have one, and 2 cycles and 13 duranium. We could dismantle it as well, but we kind of don't want to dismantle it, so we want to repair it. But you get duranium out of it instead of it costing duranium. And then we can also upgrade it once we have it online, of course. So let's repair it. It'll take 2 cycles. Repairs in progress. And until completion, it would be logical to scan all planets in the system and gather more deuterium and duranium. Okay, well that's where it wants us to scan them then. So we have a system view down here and the ship view down here. Let's see. Oh yeah, WASD to move the map around. So we can fly around a bit and collect up some more resources. Let's go collect here. Engineering office provides up to +1 work team. Work teams are required to perform repairs, construction, and hull repair on board of Voyager. Alright. So that's going to cost us some people and some energy. Now close the report. Oh, well, I guess we're going in. Engineering office fully operational again, Captain. We now have additional work team to carry out 2 tasks simultaneously. Building or repairing rooms, even clearing rubble, occupies work teams. To be able to carry out several tasks at the same time, obtain additional teams by building or upgrading engineering offices. So, logically, we should now focus on Deck 2 and the mess hall to ensure the crew's food supply, maintaining their physical endurance. This requires reactivating life support in that section first. The morale bar, which is here, shows your current morale, the change to morale per cycle, and icons indicating your crew's needs. Open the overview screen by pressing Tab and switch to morale to get detailed info about your crew's needs. Ooh, nice. Your decisions in the ship management, food, crew quarters, and events affect crew morale. If morale falls to 0, the crew mutinies and the game is over. Alrighty then, let's do that tab just to see here. And then morale. Quarterless. We have 50 quarterless people. We have nobody sick, nobody injured. And so let's go in here to, Deck 2 and activate life support. And then the ship view is a little bit jumpy. Life support restored on Deck 2, Captain. Access to the mess hall is now possible. However, it has sustained extensive damage. Emergency rations are currently deployed. After repair, the crew can access replicator rations again. Alright, so we'll repair that too, which is going to cost us some duranium, which we don't have. So go back to the system view, which is hotkey 2 down here. Hotkey 1, hotkey 2. Captain found an abandoned ship adrift in space. It's powered down but structurally sound with sealed storage compartments. This again, if we had a torpedo launch bay, we could get more out of it. But we're just going to do this. Moderate amount of resources. Excellent. And then over here, deuterium. One of these days I'll say the same thing at the same time. Sensors detect a dense cloud of interstellar gas with an unusually high concentration of deuterium. Use the collector probes to get max of 376 with a pretty good result there, or we can risk maneuvering Voyager in using the Bizarre collectors. This is kind of similar to the last one. I think I'll just take the easy route again. See how that plays out. Excellent. All right, and let's go back into the ship and into the mess hall and do this repair as well. Repairs in progress. Until completion, we should address crew accommodation. Ruined rooms must be cleared to create room for residential sections. The ship is heavily damaged and many parts are destroyed beyond repair. To free up new building space, you will first have to remove the remnants of the old. Select the room and give the order to clear the debris. Removing debris takes time to pass the time travel on the map. Alright, let's go to this ruined room and we'll clear the debris, which will take a little bit of time. While waiting for our work teams to finish, we should continue to collect more resources. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. You fly over there, 5 cycles away. And we completed the repairs on the mess hall, which means it's going to cost them some energy and some people. And so let's go. Oh, focusing on the thing again. Mess hall repairs are completed. We should switch to replicator rations now. It would enhance crew well-being. With every cycle, your crew consumes rations. You can always use emergency rations, which is number 1 here on the mess hall, which don't require resources but lower morale. The crew is used to consuming premium rations made by the replicator. Those increase morale but consume deuterium. Alrighty, so we can click on this and we can change the rations. So minus 50 morale or plus 10 morale. We'll take the plus 10, and replicator rations are now issued to the crew, Captain. And back to the system. Fly over there. And the ruined room is dismantled, so it's going to make us go in there anyway, so I'm just going to go in there. Ruined room removal concluded. Maybe we should rebuild some crew quarters now? It'll do wonders for morale, Captain. To build new rooms, select the empty building space to bring up the construction menu. If you have enough work teams and resources, you can build the room. Every room needs a corresponding area, so plan accordingly. And so if we click on that, we can do maintenance room, crew room, technology room, combat room, or a Borg technology room. I'm guessing we can't do Borg technology yet. We want to do crew, and then we have a few choices here. We actually only have one choice that appears. Emergency quarters, which accommodate 10 crew in crammed, limited quality quarters. Minus 1 morale per cycle. Yeah, but having quarters boosts their morale, so I think it ends up being a net positive on that. Or not having quarters is worse for the morale. There's also a few other choices here, but we can't do those yet. So do emergency quarters. And that's going to fill in 2 sections here. Because, yeah, we're at, let's see, it was tab. That didn't work. That. Oh, I gotta click on it, maybe. Your crew is the lifeblood of your ship. Each room requires personnel to operate, so keep this in mind when adding new rooms or upgrades. Don't forget to provide the necessary accommodation, or morale may drop faster than you like. Alright, we're building it now. Okay. We're getting a call from Tuvok. We'll take that in a moment. Yeah, we have 50 quarterless people, so that's a reduction to morale. Let's take a call by pressing C. Captain, the array's jamming signal has been neutralized. We should be able to establish communication. Let's hope they respond. Hail the array. Erg, who is this? Why are you bothering me? Oh, it's you. Why are you back? You don't have what I need. I remember that voice, Captain. It's the old man with the banjo, but his form is entirely different compared to how he appeared on the array. I'm Captain Janeway of the Federation starship Voyager. We mean you no harm. We just want our people back. Your people? Your people are no longer here. They might have what I need. You'll just have to leave them. We could appeal to his humanity, asking him to tell us where they are. It's a 70% chance total, because Catherine Janeway is level 1. We could try to intimidate him, demanding him give them back, for a total of 60% chance. We can let Torres talk for a 60% chance, or we can use a sensor array with a 100% chance to scan the array for Tom and Chakotay. Do that option. I won't rely on the words of a stranger. Scan the array for life signs of Tom and Chakotay. No sign of them, Captain, and no humanoid life forms indicated at all. Who or what are we talking to right now? Alright, so in that case, highest chance is appealing to his humanity. We are entrusted with their safety. Their families and friends rely on us to bring them home. They are our responsibility. I understand, but I had no choice. There just isn't enough time. Time for what? I must honor a debt that can never be repaid. Find something that cannot be found. What kind of debt? Or offer help? There's no, like, chance or anything on this. I think it's just dialogue. Let's do what kind of debt? What kind of debt? Maybe we can help. Weren't you listening? It can't be repaid. All I can do is protect them. No, you're stealing my time. Don't you understand? I don't have time. Not enough time. You've been cut off, Captain. Damn it, you haven't gotten any closer to Paris and Chakotay. You managed to get something. You, Starfleet, don't know how to fight, but you sure talk good. Captain, if I may, I have observed that the array has been sending energy pulses toward the 5th planet of the neighboring system ever since our arrival. Given the lack of information regarding our missing crew's location, investigating this planet appears to be the most logical next step. It's the only lead we have. Thoughts, Miss Torres? I don't like this any more than you do, but it'll be easier if we work together, Captain. Helm set course for the 5th planet of the neighboring system. Let's find our people. Set a course for the 5th planet in the neighboring system. Maximum warp. Alright, so sector map is a new map we've gained. This sector map shows the entire sector with several star systems. You can either travel directly to another system, or you can scan the system first and select a specific POI to visit. Alright, well, we're going to do a little bit more travel here. Again, we could deploy probes or use the Bussard collectors, depending on what we want to do here. I'm just going to stick with the easy option. And we lost fuel due to we didn't have enough storage. Oh, so we do not want... We have a maximum of 1,000 deuterium storage right now. Okay. What's our maximum storage of... Yeah, let's do one more of these then. It'll let me. Before we leave. Now I know. Knowing is half the battle. Let's see. We can repair parts of the mining station to mine some resources with a engineering office level higher level, or level 1, but I think we'll just do the safety one and yeah, get the stuff. Alright, so let's go to hotkey 3, which is the sector map, and click on this system. Can we not see? Oh, right click to scan. There we go. It's down here in the bottom corner. So we can scan that, and then we can head straight to Ocampa, which is right there. Emergency quarters, accommodating 10 crew, so some morale reduction, but not all of it. Is there more that we can do? Maybe. Let's see. Can we do like another one, maybe? We still have 40 unhoused people. Maybe we should do another one. Yeah. Sick bay. Back out here to sector map. And then there's the system. Captain, we've reached our destination. Orders? Continue. Let's see what we have here. A new lead. Following the caretaker's energy pulses, Voyager discovers a desert planet with a harsh, unforgiving landscape. Are Tom Paris and Captain Chakotay perhaps being held in this place? What makes this place so special? So we can prepare an away team. We could use stellar cartography to do a general scan of the planet, or we can check, use a sensor array to check the energy impulses. Well, let's do that one first, maybe. Anything noteworthy about the energy pulses? They are consistently targeting a single location, a barren piece of the desert. I recommend an away team investigates the area. There is something else. The interval between each pulse has decreased by 0.47 seconds since we left the array. They're getting faster. The entity said he was running out of time, right? Whatever that means, we'd better hurry. And let's do a general scan of the planet, too. Let's see what we can learn about this planet. It has all the basic characteristics of an M-class planet, but no ocean, no river, nothing. However, there are settlements. Leave it at that. Strange but intriguing. Prepare an away team. We'll examine this world firsthand. Captain, a small ship is approaching. They're hailing us. On screen. First contact. A peculiar alien with a mischievous grin greets Voyager from his chaotic vessel. Neither Starfleet nor the Maquis have ever seen such a species before. Perhaps an inhabitant of the Delta Quadrant? Greetings. Looking for something on this dusty old rock? Would we find anything, mister? Neelix, never seen a ship like yours. Let me guess. You were whisked away from somewhere else in the galaxy and brought here against your will. Sounds as though you've heard this story before. Thousands of times. Well, hundreds of times. Maybe 50 times. But the caretaker has been bringing ships here for months now. Caretaker? That's what the Ocampa call him. He probably snatched some of your crew, too, right? You're likely down on the planet with the Ocampa. But, Captain, it's a tricky place. Dangerous. You could use a guide, but, of course, a guide needs a little, compensation? Sounds fair. Wonderful. To be honest, I've had it rough recently. Those pesky void voles have been nibbling away at my supplies. Some food and water would be most welcome. If you help us find our missing crew, you can have all the food and water you want. It's a deal. Righty, so we can rebuild Voyager and explore the system or skip cycles until Neelix is ready to talk. Let's do some scans, because it doesn't hurt to scan all the things here. And then we can probably also go and collect some stuff. We're doing okay on deuterium, but it wouldn't hurt to get some more duranium, as long as it's not more than 31. Maybe we should just repair the ship some more. Let's go in here, and we had this section here that we're still removing. We can also, let's see, ruined room here. Yeah, let's put another one in here while we're at it. And that's our 2 work crews. That's all we can do. I guess maybe we should now go to one of these. We can get 35. Leave the storage alone and focus on salvaging for other parts of the ship, or we could use a torpedo, of course. Let's do it. I think we're gonna lose a couple. Yeah, 4 due to storage, unfortunately, but that tops off our storage. And then over here we have a notification that duranium is at max capacity. Oh no. We have 1 more cycle to go, is that what that's telling me? So I guess we can fly back to Ocampa. Yep. No, the ruined room got dismantled. That's good. Let's do this and then do crew quarters again. And that builds 2 more of those. Can we do something with this one as well? Not that we can't. Oh, we don't have enough teams. Okay, that's fine then. We have a call coming in now. C for call. There we are. What a delicious meal. A culinary masterpiece. I've never encountered such a tangy but comforting, smooth yet vibrant concoction. What was it called again? Tomato soup. Tomato soup? I'm something of a culinary wizard myself, you know. My Alfarian hair pasta bowl is widely known for its bold, mouth-watering taste. Mr. Neelix, I am pleased you are enjoying yourself, but we need your assistance now. Ah yes, your missing crew, right. Scan the southern continent and look for a range of dead volcanoes. At their foot, you'll find a Kazon Ogla encampment. Kazon what? 1 Kazon sect of many. They control this part of the quadrant. They're a bit difficult, but with the right approach, even they can be reasoned with. I thought you said the Ocampa had our people. Well, the Ocampa do have your people, it's just finding them is a bit tricky. My old pal Majjabin, the Ogla leader, might know where to look. He's a nice guy, a bit gruff, but he owes me a favor. Let's ask for more information first. Anything else we should know about these Kazon Ogla? Water's a precious commodity around these parts. The Ogla, they mostly get theirs through trade, so a little liquid diplomacy would go a long way. Alright, let's send down an away team. Very well, prepare an away team, and you'll accompany them, Mr. Neelix. We are flying back to Ocampa, and we are now here. And we finished building this room here. Let's go ahead and do some more crew quarters in here. Go. And let's go here. There we go. Captain, we reached our destination. Orders? Let's send an away team. Neelix is required to be on the mission, but he does satisfy quite a bit. I'm not sure why he has the the Federation symbol. It seems weird that he would have that. Maybe that's diplomacy or something. Not specifically Federation. We also need to have a survivalist and an innovator, which means that we want to take B'Elanna because she's an innovator. She also can do the sciencey stuff and some more of the repair-y stuff much better than Neelix can. I think that makes sense for that. And then survivalist, we don't have one. Maybe that would be Tom Paris. Maybe that would be Chakotay. I'm not sure which one, but we'll have to see which one is better here. We need to be able to handle the phaser one as well as the Starfleet badge one, so I think Tuvok's our better choice than Harry Kim here. Actually, yeah, we do have Tom Paris listed. We don't know how well, I guess it wouldn't fit that. So maybe picking, well, but then we wouldn't have had the innovator. So I think it's kind of either or. You don't get them all. You either get B'Elanna or you get Chakotay. So let's go Tuvok. And everything is covered challenge-wise, so let's start a mission. The away team materializes in a small valley between the dead volcanoes. The sun burns down on them mercilessly. The air is hot and dry, and a sandy wind whips into their eyes. Captain, our tricorders are malfunctioning, probably because of the energy impulses. How do we get our bearings in this dust bowl? If we had a survivalist, we could orient ourselves using the cardinal points. Instead, we have to struggle through to a vantage point using Tuvok's phaser skills here. Interesting that even though we have this covered, since we don't have the survivalist covered, we can't do this option. So let's continue here. The away team pushes forward, battling the strong winds and low visibility. Finally, they emerge onto a ledge with a clearer view of the surrounding area. In the distance, they spot the Kazon Ogla settlement. However, the wind is picking up and a massive sandstorm is approaching from the south. The Tuvok's skills have gone down there. You can see that. We talked about that in the first, or at least in previous. And he's also fatigued. Or maybe that's because he's fatigued, whichever way it works. So, Captain, a sandstorm is headed our way. We need to find cover fast. B'Elanna is the innovator, and she can design an intelligent shelter to withstand the storm at exactly perfect score, which means that we get a little bit of a bonus here. Or we could build a temporary shelter from what we can find. We could use B'Elanna again, or a combination of her and Neelix to get a really good golden area here, which is going to cost us less stuff. I'm not sure why we would want to do this one and spend more duranium, or is that gaining us duranium? I guess that's gaining us duranium. I guess that's why we want to do it. Okay, maybe we want to do that then. Or we can analyze the area and evaluate the best cover for the storm. If we combined her and Tuvok, we could get a good science build out of this and gain some science points. But I think I'm going to go with this one. Since we have the innovator, we might as well use it. And plus Tuvok needs to rest a little bit. We didn't get the thing. B'Elanna wastes no time. With impressive efficiency, she swiftly constructs a wind-resistant shelter from the surrounding debris, all the while grumbling about the perceived incompetence of the Starfleet team. Sounds about right. After what seems like an eternity, the storm subsides. The away team emerges unharmed and sets off in the direction of the Kazon Ogla settlement. That gets us 30 stuffs. Sometimes certain approaches in away missions bear additional risks. Dangerous approaches are marked by a danger level indicator here. Failing such a challenge can result in injuries or even fatalities. Right? Captain, we've reached the settlement. How should we approach the people here? With a Talaxium, which we had to take, we can let Neelix do the introduction. He has enough score to achieve this. We can approach in the typical Starfleet manner, which we can't pull off entirely because it requires 60 of this, and then finally we can approach intimidatingly, weapons at the ready. This one has a little bit of a risk level there, and also it's not perfectly solvable, but we have the Talaxian and we haven't even used him yet, so let's go ahead and use him. Get plus 200 morale instead of a plus 100 morale, and proceed. Neelix bounds forward, greeting the Kazon Ogla in his usual boisterous manner. The women and children seem to recognize him, but their expressions are skeptical rather than welcoming. The men approach cautiously, weapons in hand. A tall Kazon emerges from the settlement, Jabin, their leader. At the sight of Neelix, his face darkens. In the background, a badly bruised young woman who looks nothing like the Kazon, but more like a human with pointy ears, peers around a corner. Seems like the Kazon don't find Neelix as charming as he'd led us to believe. How should we appease them, Captain? We can assure them you have no bad intentions. That would be Neelix, and he's a little bit fatigued from the last adventure there. So it's, it gives us the morale. It will drain him. He's a little bit weak, and we won't get that great of a result. We could demonstrate strength, or we could offer water in exchange and get some additional duranium out of the deal. Now, I think we still have space, right, for duranium. So I think that's fine to do. Let's try it, at least. Ooh, we're well into the golden area here. The away team offers Jabin water from their replicators. Fascinated by this technology, Jabin accepts the offer and becomes more receptive. He explains that the Ocampa live underground, their access controlled by the caretaker, who also provides their only source of water. As a proof, Jabin points to the bruised Ocampa woman he is holding as a slave, explaining that she is one of the few who have managed to reach the surface, when suddenly Neelix grabs a phaser. He points it at Jabin and demands for the Ocampa girl to be freed. 22 duranium. I'm not sure, because these numbers haven't been going up, so I'm not sure why that is. Maybe we get it all at the end of the mission? That could be. Things are getting out of hand, Captain. We should retreat. We could appease and carefully withdraw. Again, Neelix isn't doing too well, so this isn't a great one. We could do the tactical retreat and run, which is a Tuvok-centered one here. It's not great either, but they're all not great. They're all red, so it doesn't really matter much. And then this one here, though, is much, much closer to success. Much, much higher chance of success than either of these other two. So let's secure the retreat with phaser fire. Plus 10 duranium again. The away team lays down covering fire, forcing the Kazon to take cover. This allows them to minimize their exposure to enemy fire. Jabin, though furious, seems to acknowledge the away team's fighting skills. They escape with no casualties. So yeah, we gained 62, which is more than we had room for. 200 morale, which was really good. Let's see, B'Elanna and Tuvok both went up a level, I think? Right? I think they did. Actually, they all did. Never mind, they all went up a level. 4 successful challenges, 1 critical success right there. That was nice. No injuries taken. We're in Sector 1 still, and our total is 375. Yeah, they all went up a level. That's nice. Back to the ship. More than gratitude. Safely back on Voyager, Neelix surprises the rest of the away team as he and the rescued woman kiss passionately. How deep does the relationship between the two go? My dearest Kess, didn't I promise to save you? I knew you would come for me, my love. You lied and endangered my crew. This is not how trust is built, Mr. Neelix. He was desperate, Captain, but I understand. I want to repay you and your crew for saving me. As Jabin said, the access to the underground city is controlled by the caretaker. There is a tunnel, but the caretaker sealed it with a security barrier. We may be able to transport through the barrier if it had the slightest breach. A transporter signal amplifier would be necessary. Excellent idea. Kess, can you help us once we've located the breach? Of course, it's the least I can do. I'm grateful. Now, we have choices. But I think what we'll do is actually leave this here. We're at a good amount of time. This game reminds me quite a bit of the sort of style of one of my favorite Star Trek, actually probably my favorite Star Trek game of all time, which was A Final Unity, a Next Generation themed game. And it was very point-and-click adventure-y. You had a little bit more hands-on to do, piloting the ship and managing engineering and things like that, than this seems to. But in terms of, the sort of point-and-click adventure kind of thing, as well as the kind of choose-your-own-adventure choice modes here, and how you get options for proceeding and what happens and what each option leads to, do remind me a bit of that game. So I'm actually looking forward to this. If this is something you're also interested in, again, make sure you check it out on Steam. Play the demo if it's still available. As you're watching this, as this is releasing, I think you have about another 24 hours of Next Fest, and I'm not sure, the demo might stay up after that. Make sure you wishlist and or follow it so that you can be notified of changes, as well as updates to or announcements of the release of the game, as well as pricing and things like that. And if this is something you want to see here on my channel, by all means let me know in the comments or the chat, or come to Discord. You can find the link to the description in the description below for that, and let me know about your thoughts there as well. Finally, if you have any other final game suggestions, I will probably do 1, maybe 2 more demo playthroughs after this for Next Fest. So if you suggest something and I can fit it in, I will most definitely do that. And otherwise, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming by probably Tuesday or Wednesday this week, and we'll see how we can proceed from there as well. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.